Hi Aquarius, welcome to Wild Pearl Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a timeless tarot and oracle reading for you, asking what's coming towards you. Whenever you see this video, that's when it was meant to find you. That being said, of course, if something doesn't resonate, don't force it. It's just meant for another Aquarius out there. If you'd like for me to pray for you, if you'd like other Aquarians and cross watchers to pray for you at this channel, that's what we do here. Put good back out into the interwebs, out into the world. Say hi in the comments section or leave an emoji, whatever you're comfortable with. That gives us something that we can focus on that represents you. I think of it as like permission or a pathway to you. Only love and light in this space, you guys. All right, so we're gonna get started with a mudra card. For my Aquarius is bright red. Let's see what it says. Trust. Anxiety goes away. And there's a mudra hand gesture to do with this, meaning it's gonna amplify the meaning, and you could just basically hold on to your pointer finger. It's kind of like how a little kid holds on to their mom's hand sometimes, just holds on to a finger. Trust, anxiety goes away. I have faith in the rightness of things. There is a power and a strength which guides, supports, and protects me. This is the courage mudra. What are you gearing up for, Aquarius? So it says, using the following technique, you can deal with both acute and chronic fears. First, take a long and careful look at the cause of your fear and imagine, only for a moment, exclamation point, the worst that might happen. The inner images are small and in black and white. Then you see in your mind's eye what it will be like when everything has resolved itself for the good. But in big, colorful pictures, imagine the situation as you would like it to be and yourself laughing, satisfied, and happy. So this mudra comes from Japan. It has always helped to cope with niggling worries, fear, or anxiety. Oftentimes, these natural fears come up when we're doing something new or we're about to take a leap of faith. All right, let's just jump right into your reading. I want to get this deck of cards. Hey, and you guys, just keep this in the back of your mind. If you feel so called, please hit the hype button. It's this new thing that YouTube rolled out for smaller channels like mine, because a lot of small channels are getting buried by just the massive amounts of content being released on YouTube every day. So if you like this reading, if you like me as a reader, consider hitting the like button, or excuse me, the hype button too. The hype button is the one I'm talking about. You guys are very powerful, each and every one of you guys, with that. So thanks for listening. I appreciate you. All right. Taking only the cards that fly out for you. If they fly in reverse, we take them that way. Of my Aquarius. Okay, so we're going to start with your first message, which is total abundance, keeping your mind open. Those two messages came out hand in hand. The Page of Wands represents that spark, that sparkle of possibility. It's equated to kind of a youthful energy, sometimes even literally teenagers and stuff. And it's kind of like keeping your mind open to what is possible is the beginning of something that's very abundant with the Empress card. Now, the Empress is also a really beautiful energy. So if this is actually in context to how you are presenting yourself, then it's very attractive. And it pulls people in and opportunities in, because it's abundant, because we naturally want to be around something that is full of life and fruitful and abundant. So this is how we start your reading. Now, there is a bittersweet aspect that we're going to unpack, because it definitely is important to this, but we have an Ace of Cups in reverse, which is totally opposite. Ace of Cups in reverse means that maybe it's a gesture of love or a relationship that has not come through. We have Four of Swords, a quiet place of reflection and processing, and Six of Wands, which is actually, again, along with the Ace of Cups in reverse, it's a sense of maybe being unsuccessful in something. But yet, I don't want us to lose sight of something really important, that we started with abundance, keep your mind open. So let's unpack these now. Tell me more about this. Abundance, keep your mind open, because that 10 of Cups is all going to be okay. Alignment, happiness, harmony with all of your with all your relationships, with if you have a hope for building a family, this is a really good sign. If you have hope that everything's going to work out among family members or even friends, that you're all going to come into a good place with one another, it looks really good. And it's an interesting layout because I don't think I've seen this before, where it starts with big picture and it's starting with the really good news. It's starting with like, hey, listen, this is all for a reason. This is all going to work out. The future looks bright. And then kind of there's some bittersweet stuff. So we're going to jump into that just to give us some context. What's this Ace of Cups in reverse? It's cutting your losses. Something didn't come through. Maybe a relationship didn't come through. Maybe for some of you guys, an apology that you were hoping to get. I don't feel so much as much. Maybe that's just for one person out there. But this is making progress and moving forward. It's not holding you down. You know what you have. You know what you have to offer. You know what you want. The Five of Swords. This is very confident energy. What's the Eight of Swords about? And you've had a theme recently with this, is that there's a little small, tiny thread of attachment to something. I think that this is having to do with something you tell yourself. And it could be limiting. But I feel that you are coming up on the end of this. So this could have been something that you felt limited in within context of this relationship or this gesture of compassion and love that did not come through. It seems you're making major progress. You're believing in something wholeheartedly and leaving behind, I think, a stuck place. Maybe a little voice in your head that would say, no, Aquarius, you're never going to get this, or Aquarius, this is never going to happen, or Aquarius, blah, 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 blah. So that's nice, actually, right? Because the Eight of Swords is how we limit ourselves with our thinking, and it's all an illusion. That's the joke of the Eight of Swords, is she's actually not really bound, behind all those swords. The swords represent thoughts, communications and thoughts, and she's blindfolded and her hands are bound behind her waist in this picture. And the idea is that it's really tissue paper, or that she's not really tied up. And so it's literally, you can break through this glass ceiling you create for yourself at any time. And it seems that it's circumstantial, because the Ten of Wands comes out to remind you, like, hey, listen, this chapter of your life, it was a little bit exhausting, but it's coming to an end. Some of you guys were waiting. I get the sense that you were waiting for something that wasn't materializing, and that was a gesture of love or a relationship. And you're just kind of like, hey, I'm all about moving forward now. I love that for you. But it can be scary, right? And so we've got this mood to remind you, trust. All fears, anxieties go away when you just trust. What's this Four of Swords, which is a contemplative energy? It's processing. I think that here's our bittersweet, right? We have some heartbreak possibly. Maybe this has threads attached to the past somehow, or memories. What is this? Yeah, we got the Five of Cups making an arrival. It hasn't flipped out of the deck, but it reared its head. Again, this is like, I think you had a certain vision of your future and it didn't come through. Somebody didn't come through here. This is the Knight of Wands in reverse, so that can even sometimes not come through as somebody you can rely on. This can have almost player energy, or it can have immature energy. And I think that it at first seemed like King of Wands, like there was a future in it. And it seemed really confident, but in actuality, it was an immature energy and it was impulsive. So that's why we equate it with like players out there. We equate it with people who get so wrapped up in their own enthusiasm for something, but they don't have the integrity to back it up. So you're processing all of this, the Four of Swords. And there's an element of nostalgia with the Six of Cups. So this could have happened in the past. Could be even connected to family for some of you guys. And why are we getting the Six of Wands right here? Why are we getting the Six of Wands? My Aquarius. I would say this. If there's anything that's not closed up, anything that you have not gotten closure on, it's kind of please have patience with me while I find the right words. It's the concept that this might have been a failure. And it's almost like, it's the general concept. It's like, I didn't have a victory here, or I had a lack of success here. And that's kind of the wound that might still be a little bit open. I'm gonna make this an extended, because I wanna jump down that road a little bit more, but for now, and I wanna get advice. And I know that we're already at 10 minutes. So let's spend some time on this though, for anybody who doesn't wanna follow me over to the extended. I get the feeling that you had hopes that this was going to be substantial, and it just wasn't. But I think that there's like this elevation, I don't know so much even if it's relief. It's more like you're going back into the world enthusiastically. I would not pay attention to false information or shallow information here. What is shallow information? Well, of course, that can be gossip. It can be chit chat around the water cooler, so to speak. Just things where you only have a little corner of the big picture. That's going to keep the wound open, right? And sometimes even shorts and reels and memes and those little blips of text that we see kind of flying by our eyes, but can actually kind of impact our day. Be aware of those. Some of you guys are dealing with an earth sign. You're going to be very aware, going back to text and those little blips of information. I think you're going to be very aware of what builds you up and what takes you down. But I think more importantly, and I want to open up this this King of Pentacles for Aquarius. Wow, okay. Who's this King of Pentacles? Interesting. Sorry, my cat's sneezing. We're working with it. Might be food. We're trying different things. So I'm sorry that you hear sneezing. King of Pentacles could be something you discover. This energy is something that brings hope, renewal, and makes you feel seen. Now, this could be somebody else, but I think this might be you. I think you're going to be focused on your job, on your value system, on what makes you feel valued, where you're valued, your money. And this is something that you discover when you go into that quiet place of the Four of Swords while you're processing, and this is a place of gratitude as well. So it's processing all of it, the bittersweet, your expectations and of somebody or an offer that wasn't exactly what you expected. And all of that gets processed with the Four of Swords. And in that is the gift. That is where the gift is. Going where you're valued, being seen for value, also focusing on maybe money and job. That's a big one. We're going to go down that avenue a little bit more in the extended. I want one last card for you guys before. Oh, the World. The World is closing a chapter but opening a really positive new one. You can look it up. The World card is expansion. So we end kind of how we began, which was expansion, keeping an open mind. But this also, it relates to travel and people and places that are a distance from you. So it's real expansion. If you would like to follow me, that link will be in the description box below to the extended, where we get advice and unpack this much longer. But for those of you guys who enjoy shorter readings and this is it for you, thank you so much for being here with me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.